Hey there, start here. So we've got a couple of, weekly limited trial events going on. This one, Falling from the Pride, or Falling from Pride, is the one to get the special sword, the long sword, which is supposed to be, I guess it's ideal, or is supposed to be like, a good equip for Zach or Angeal maybe. But ideally you want to put the Buster Sword, the upgraded Buster Sword on Zach for the 1000 static attack. Apparently that is currently bugged, however. I don't know personally because I don't have Zach. But apparently it is bugged and the 1000 static attack is not currently working on the new Zach. That should be fixed. It is supposed to be active on the new Zach, but it currently is bugged, apparently. So, yeah, for the time being, maybe this event sword is better for Zach until that gets fixed. I don't know. But anyways, if you don't have access to the old Buster Sword or the upgraded Buster Sword, maybe you want to use this sword for him. I don't know. Anyways, let's clear it out, at least, for the very least, for the Lapis. You get 300 Lapis. Apparently this one used to be locked to Final Fantasy VII units. Thank goodness Gumi, did not do that. Or I shouldn't say it was locked, but I think that final reward for the Lapis, that 300 Lapis reward, used to be use Final Fantasy VII units only. And so I'm really glad Gumi has done away with that. I wish they would make all the unit locked trial event trials. I wish they would just get rid of all those. They're starting to become a real headache and a real pain, and I think Gumi honestly just needs to get rid of these unit locked trials. Like, they should just fix them to make them open to everyone. They've done it before in the past. I don't know why they can't do it anymore, but they're just becoming more of a headache than anything. Anyways, rant over. Let's talk about this boss real quick. He has 5 races, which is pretty crazy, and it's a mix of a couple of rare races as well, like avian and aquatic in there, and so it's a quintuple raced boss, and so building for killers can be difficult unless you're using a premium unit. I'm going to be taking my flaring Aether Rain because he's the new hotness. Very easy for him to hit 300% to all killers. But then, the problem comes with killer buffs, and we're going to talk about how we're going to do that in just a minute. So we're going to get all these missions done very easy. It's going to be a 3-turn simple clear. Now, like I said, I'm taking my flaring Aether Rain. You can bring a friend unit into this one, which is great. So, another flaring Aether Rain would be really good if you're taking Rain into this one. I'm actually going to use a friend Lasswell. So we've got my friend Claudia here. And she's a huge fan of Lasswell, so I wanted to sort of show off Lasswell with Rain's leader skill. So Lasswell's leader skill is unfortunately pretty sad with only 300% to all stats. However, Lasswell is extremely strong as an ice unit. He is locked to ice, keep that in mind. But he is very strong as an ice unit if you have Rain's leader skill to go with him. So we're going to do that here, and we're going to show off Lasswell a little bit in this clear. Here's the team that we're using. We've got Aerith. Aerith doesn't really need anything, to be honest. She can be naked. She's just here for fire support and for buffs and whatnot. She can be totally naked, that's fine. She's not going to do anything appreciable. Here's my Rain. We're going to only care about the Brave Shift form. You notice he's EX3. I got super lucky on some ticket pulls these last few days, and I was able to get my Rain to EX3 today. So very, very excited to show him off and test him out here. So, obviously he's got his STMR, the Crimson Claw, which is the event sword. Hopefully you pick that up. That's his best offhand weapon. Magister's gear. This is all super overkill, by the way. You don't need an EX3 Rain to do this. You could probably do it with an EX1 Rain, and it just might take you an extra turn, right? I'm showing you like a super overkill team here. But yeah, basically the structure of the team will allow you to get it done in however many turns you need. There's no turn limit on this one. All right. So this is pretty much my general Rain build. Like if you're on my friends list, you'll find this guy in my Nemesis 1 slot. I've moved him to Nemesis 1 now for like pretty much all future trials and everything. He has 300% to all killers, 400% LB damage boost. All right, so that's overcapped on LB damage. He is pretty much ready to rock and roll for just about anything. He's got all status. You don't need death resist, but I've got you know, Kurisame's knowing tag on there for death resist for anything that might happen in the future. You don't need it for this one though. Just the best build you can build for your Rain will do just fine. Esther, we're only bothering with her Brave Shift form. Okay, so yeah, I mean, just standard bulk gear that you have to put on her. You know, bulk up her defense and spirit as much as possible. Put on her 7-star TMR, the Storm Kickers. That makes her absorb lightning. All right. Now she also absorbs lightning if you use her electromagnetic shield, so it's kind of redundant. But if it lasts for longer than, you know, if the fight lasts for longer than 3 turns, and you need to re-up her Omni cover with like her limit burst or something like that, then yeah, you'll want the Storm Kickers on there for sure. All right, just to make sure that that lightning absorb is covered. All right, and that's pretty much all Esther needs there. Nothing too fancy. Okay. Cacteria, she can also basically be naked. Like, all this gear is irrelevant. She's just here for the breaks, obviously. Now the thing about this boss is if you go longer than 3 turns, the boss will dispel itself on certain turns. So if you're not going to kill it in 3 turns like I'm going to do, consider bringing in a breaker who can maintain you know, good breaks more, you know, with more frequency. Cacteria can do an 89% defense and spirit break that lasts for 5 turns unless it gets dispelled, and then she's pretty much relying just on her limit burst to do 87% full break every turn. So yeah, if you've got a better breaker that can maintain better breaks consistently, that's probably a better slot here. Okay. Now Rosa is a really interesting unit. Okay, so she's one of the units. It's sort of like a similar unit to like Ilmatel and Ihana. And if you have her at EX2, this is why I'm bringing Rosa primarily. If you have her at EX2, she gets this ability. Where is it? There it is, Preemptive Omni Killer. And so at the start of the battle, she does a Preemptive Omni Killer, which does 100% to all races for 5 turns. This is huge for a boss that has 5 different races. All right, because like if you just try and do like a 250%, you know, killer buff to like 1 race, that's only like a 50% killer buff, right? So this is 100% to all races. Okay, so that's big time. All right, that really is awesome. Now if you don't have Rosa or Ihana or Ilmatel at EX2, all right, any of those will work for the Preemptive Omni Killer. But if you don't have them, bring someone like Luis, who can actually buff all allies to all killers by 50%. That will do just as well as like a 250% killer buff to a single enemy type here. So yeah, that's going to be, you know, your better bet. Now, if you have a 250% killer to like 2 different races, that's going to basically equal the same as 100% Omni Killer. All right, so it's just think about that, right? Now another reason why Rosa is awesome here is she can do this move, which does a triple Mirror of Equity chain. All right, so she's a really great chain partner for Flaring Aether Rain in that sense, and she's got some other nice, you know, just support skills. All right, so that's why I'm bringing Rosa to this fight, but she's certainly not necessary. You could bring Ilmatel, Ihana, as long as you have them at EX2, or bring Luis if you need to. All right. And that's it for my team. Let's take a look at my friend unit. All right, so Claudia's got Lasswell at EX2 here. Obviously, you don't need to bring Lasswell. You could bring another Flaring Aether Rain, and that would do just fine. Okay. Now, so in the normal form, all right, the main damage is going to be in the Brave Shift form with the Brave Shift Limit Burst, but his normal form can also do some considerable damage as well. All right, so here's the build in the yeah, not really built for that's all right. I didn't ask, I didn't request for it. I just saw it on the friends list and I was like, oh hey, I'm just gonna take this Lasswell here and make Claudia happy, right? All right, and we've gone true dual wield with the TMR and high mag gun in the Brave Shift form. I will say that going TDH with like Olive's STMR is probably going to give you a little bit better damage with Lasswell, because Lasswell does not, unfortunately, Lasswell does not get the 8 times chain cap as a true dual wield unit. But as you're going to see, he's still super strong, and he's going to do just fine in this particular event. All right. Did I show all this stuff? Yeah. Okay. So he's got, yeah, he's got at least 250% killers to all. Oh, I'm missing some LB damage boost, but that's all right. He's still going to do just fine. All right, let's get in here and let's see how we do this. All right. So we'll start off, we'll just do, we'll just have Rosa. So I gave Rosa Diabolos Esper so that she can have access to Imperil, because we're not going to have any other form of like fire, fire Imperil. So if you had like Vaughn would be a better slot here. Even like the 5-star Vaughn would be a great slot in here, because he does a 130% fire Imperil. But yeah, so Rosa is going to be our fire Imperil on this one. Okay. Cacteria is going to do Million Needle Assault for the 90% attack mag breaks, armor breaking, mental breaking for the high defense spirit breaks. Not that we need the spirit break, but you know. Actually, wait a minute. We do need it because Lasswell's a mage technically. Okay. We're going to do Quad Limit. We'll do Wish to Save the Planet, Ardent Prayer, and Double Flame Fang. All right. Rain will do a stack on his LB. And Lasswell's also going to, so his normal form LB is triple Mirror of Equity, so that he can chain with Rain, which is great. And then on turn 3, when we do our big burst, Rosa will chain Mirror of Equity with Rain, so that Lasswell can do his big one-hit finisher. Esther will go ahead and do Energizing Bunny, Electromagnetic Shield, and I guess it doesn't really matter here. We can do Storm Guardian, I guess, for the big mitigations. Not that she's going to take any appreciable damage anyways. All right, we'll go ahead and send her. Energizing Bunny also does some nice killers that are good for this fight. All right, so see, we've got the Omni Killer active, so we've got 400% to everything. We should have 420 to Demon. Yeah, 420 to Demon. Perfect. All right, and yeah, let's actually, you know what? That means we don't even need Wish to Save the Planet, because we don't need the human killers. We're just going to do Ardent, Triple Flame to build up that chain. This should do a nice little lick of damage here. Probably not going to kill the boss, but it should do a good chunk. Yeah. Right. So we've already done half the boss's health. Now we're going to set up and do another big burst on turn 3. All right. And that's going to be like way overkill. I've killed this boss from full health on turn 3, on the turn 3 burst before, so even if your units are not as strong, this should work for you as long as you have these units. All right, so Rain is going to do Armor, Grant Me the Power, Unyielding Conviction, and his Elemental Burst Fire. Lasswell's going to shift. He will do Elemental Burst Ice, Power of Emotions, and Magitech Suit Boost. This gives him the mag store. First of all, it does a mod boost to his LB and a 300% mag store. So definitely make sure that is the last thing that you cast so that you don't waste that mag store. Okay, so they can go. All right, Rosa doesn't really need to do anything here, does she? No, I don't think so. You can just have her do like a double prayer, I guess. Yeah, I don't think she needs to do anything here. Esther can just guard. Cacteria can guard. I'm gonna have Aerith go ahead and do her LB so that all she has to do is her tag chaining move next. All right, there you go. Esther soaking up all the lightning damage. All right, now if you don't kill the boss on this turn, he will dispel himself. So just keep that in mind. You'll have to reapply breaks, imperils, all that jazz, okay? But we're going to go ahead and kill. The boss still has all of his breaks and imperils in place. So we're going to go ahead and kill this guy. So Lasswell's Brave Shift Limit Burst is a one-hit finisher. Do keep that in mind. And it is his strongest attack. It's stronger than his normal form LB. Okay, but it is a one-hit finisher, so you do need someone to chain with Rain. That's why we've got Rosa. So she'll do True Glorious Rain of Arrows to chain with Rain. And Aerith will just start us off by building up the chain. All right, everyone else just gets to sit back and watch. And here we go. Let's do this thing. Yeah, as you can see, way overkill. Way overkill. We just absolutely murdered it. I mean, I think the boss only has like 30 billion or something like that, so we basically just killed the boss from 100% health there on turn 3 for an all missions clear. Alright. Yeah, as you can see, that was way overkill. So, you know, if your units aren't as strong, I definitely understand. Not everyone's going to have an Ex3 Rain. I was just like super excited to just like pull one with some tickets today. I was throwing some tickets at the Zac banner and pulled the last Flaring Aether Rain that I needed to get Ex3, and I was like super psyched. So wanted to take him in and show him off here. All right, so there's Rain. Obviously, Lasswell is restricted a little bit. So even though you see Flaring Rain doing like so much more damage, keep in mind that Lasswell is restricted by that one hit rule, where the one hit can only a single hit can only go as high as 9.99 billion damage, right? So this damage spread isn't really all that fair to Lasswell, but that's how you use Lasswell on a Rain team, if you're just wondering how that works out. And Lasswell is quite strong on a Rain team. All right, well, that is pretty much it. That is an all missions clear for you there. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys. If your units aren't quite as strong, I definitely get it, but don't worry. I mean, just keep Esther's Omni cover up, right? If you don't have Rosa, Elmatel, or Ihana, use Louise. She'll even bring a stronger fire imperil so that your Rain will do more damage. Lots of ways to get this one done. This one's not difficult at all. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you guys, or at least entertaining. Stay tuned. I will do a super budget clear of the Rufus Crowns fight. That one is super easy. Even though it's unit locked, it's like insanely easy, but I'll talk more about that in the next video. So thank you guys for following me, and I will see you on the other side.